Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Sam from Bet. In this video, I'll be doing my card predictions for CHandler Oliveira versus Gaethje. As always, I'll run through the entire card here, telling who I'm picking, who I'm betting. Then we're going to move on to the breakdowns. I don't have the results from the previous card because when I'm recording this video, the card hasn't yet happened. The UFC on ESPN 35, so it's pretty much the same results that I have from previous time. So if you wish to hear more details here, check out my previous video, okay? So let's get into it, guys. As always, I'm gonna be talking with more details the fights that I'm betting. Those that I'm not betting, I'm gonna just real quick give you some thoughts, okay? So between Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje, I'm picking Oliveira but not betting. CHandler and Tony Ferguson, I'm picking Chandler but betting Ferguson. Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza, I'm picking Rose but not betting. Norma Dumont and Macy Chasson, picking Dumont, not betting. Vincent Prue and Mauricio Rua, I'm picking OSP but betting Rua. And yeah, if you guys, to some of you, if it doesn't make sense picking on betting other, wait until the breakdowns to see why. Donald Cerrone versus Joe Lawson, picking Cerrone but not betting. Clayton Rodriguez and CJ Vergara, I'm picking KR but not betting. Chaos Williams and Randy Brown, picking betting Brown. Francisco Trinaldo and Danny Roberts, I'm picking Trinaldo but not betting. Tracy Cortez and Melissa Gatto, I'm picking betting Gatto. Fernie Garcia and Jordan Newsom, picking Garcia and not betting. Blagoy, Ivanov and Marcos de Lima, picking Ivanov and not betting. Alright, so let's move on to the breakdowns. And by the way, guys, in this video you're hearing at first glance what are my picks and my bets, and this is part of the coming out on Patreon, right? So if you wish to hear more the advantages of my Patreon to you, stick until the end. I'll tell you more about that, okay? So let's get into it, guys. As I said, real quick on those that I'm not betting, a little bit more details on those I'm betting. So Chaos Williams and Randy Brown. Main thing here, guys, Williams carries obviously lots of power. He's known for his knockout power. He used it to be a guy that either, exploded in the guy, finished the guy real quick, else he would gas and lose the fight after that. But he learned his lessons in a couple of fights after Michel Pereira. He learned to pace himself better, being more patient in there, tempered aggression. So he tries those flurries. He can put guys out, but in case he doesn't, he still takes his time and keeps finding his rhythm. So he got better in that regard. And he's fighting Randy Brown, who is another fairly powerful guy. Even though Williams Chaos has more power, Brown is no slouch in this department, right? He packs some power, even though he's best known for his size, his reach, that incredible reach that he has, and the height. More technical than Chaos, likes the 1-2, likes to control the range, but he doesn't back down from a brawl, right? He used it to be more of a point fighter, but then he adapted that in his career too. So he's also doing well in terms of managing range. But when the guy wants to go early on him, he fires back, and definitely he can get respect. So to me, guys, Brown is the more technical guy here. He has the reach and the height, right? Kailinn has pretty long limbs too, so not that much of a gap. But still, Brown is good in controlling range. I think he controls range. Williams probably will try to get inside and have his way around, make it a brawl at some time. I think Brown at those times is going to be able to avoid getting knocked out, earning Williams' respect and edging him on a decision. That's the most likely scenario to me, even though Chaos by knockout is always a possibility. He can put out basically anybody in the welterweight division, right? So here you go, guys. Brown by decision. I also like a bet on Brown. I think has some chance for the finish. Not likely, but he does, right? But Brown as an underdog makes sense to me. I have him as a minus 150 favorite. Line is plus 110. Plus Brown by decision. I'm gonna also take that prop when it opens up. Okay, KR versus Carlos Vergara. Pretty easy to break down. KR, a very athletic, dynamic guy. Likes to keep it standing. Goes fancy with flying stuff. Also has that athletic ability to stop takedowns and keep it standing. CJ, tough guy, likes to take the front foot. Decent wrestling, not bad grappling. A little bit more well-rounded. At least he uses more the grappling, right? To be honest, guys, I think this is a little bit of a tough matchup for Vergara, just because KR is coming with that momentum, right? The guy is so athletic and He's very dangerous. It's very difficult to take this guy down, control him. And I think Vergara, if he enters a brawl, if he tries to go ugly on KR, he's gonna get knocked out. So that's why I think Clayton Rodriguez should win this fight. But man, against CJ stuff, he knows what he has to do. He fights like a veteran, and it's not impossible that he wins this fight, especially if KR, for some reason, cannot find those shots, and CJ keeps pushing the pace, pushing him back, throwing hard, mixing it up, even though he's not going to be able to control. Maybe mix it up and make the fight more like in different landscapes. Let's put it this way. So Vergara by decision is not a possibility. I would bet that if I can get Vergara from plus 450 by decision, rather than that, I think I'm gonna pass on this one. Fernando Garcia versus Jordan Nielsen, another quite easy one to break down. Garcia likes to take the front foot, close the gap on guys and throw heat. He has power. Nielsen, he's a well-rounded fighter, but he's more of a counter puncher, right? He takes his time, he waits, and then he tries to find clean shots. Not gonna be easy to do against Garcia, just because Garcia throws combos and he throws hard, so it's very difficult to time a guy like that, being aggressive and that has power. Not impossible that Nielsen wins this fight. He can obviously find a clean shot, or I'm very curious in case Jordan Nielsen will be able to out-wrestle Garcia, right? Nielsen doesn't seem to be the best wrestler, but I may have a wrong read there because I haven't seen much on Nielsen wrestling. So if Nielsen wins this one, probably gonna be by a knockout shot or out-wrestling Fernando Garcia, which is, again, probably not likely as Nielsen doesn't at least try to implement much of that style. So to me, it's Garcia by knockout here, guys. But I think there is not much value in either guy at this line, so I'm passing this one in terms of a bet. Francisco Trinaldo versus Danny Roberts. Interesting matchup. Roberts, to me, looks like previous opponent that Trinaldo had, Jay Herbert, right? So they look like a little bit in terms of the height and the reach. Trinaldo did pretty well that fight. I think actually Herbert's a better fighter than Robert is, but Robert probably has more power than Herbert, a little bit, bigger in there and all of that. Roberts also is a good kicker. Man has giant legs, very powerful legs. And but problem that I have with Roberts is that he tries to be he's trying to be an entertaining fighter, a guy that puts people out. I think that's his kryptonite, to be honest, because he doesn't have the best chin, and he would a style that would favor him would be much more like hit and run, use kicks, and try to mix it up, right? He does the opposite. He tries that in the beginning, but then he tries to brawl and be fancy in there type of thing. I think Trinaldo's a little bit more composed. He holds his style a little bit better, keeps moving forward, throw those bombs with the underhooks. Also, good wrestling, good top game. To me, it's a 50-50 fight as the line have it and the bookies have it. So I think Trinaldo's a little bit more consistent. I think he has more chances, both for a knockout and decision, right? But it's not impossible that Roberts wins this one, especially because Trinaldo is 43, right? So it's the main factor to me, the age here. But rather than that, I think Trinaldo has a little bit more chance for this one. Tracy Cortez and Melissa Gatto, another interesting one. Cortez known for her wrestling. She's a pretty good grappler also. She's good taking guys back and all of that. Girls back, sorry, and all of that. And she's also not bad on the feet, but definitely, she's at her best when she's been able to out-wrestle girls, right? Sorry guys, I think I copied the slide over and didn't change this one. So Melissa Gatto, she's basically a very physical girl, lean, fit, quite tall for the division. Can do a little bit of everything, not bad grappling, not bad stand-up, right? I'm very curious for this fight. I think Cortez definitely has a better wrestling, probably the better grappling, right? But Gatto, she's so tough and she'll be in there. She has a good guard, and I don't think it's going to be easy to control her, even though Cortez has that ability to control fights, right? I don't think it's going to be that easy. Cortez went to split decision with Justin Kish. I think she won that quite decisively, but still it was not that of a one-sided match. I think Gatto is better than Kish, right? Both in physical skills, she's much younger than Kish, and she's way more physical here, right? Not way more physical, she's more physical here. Her stand-up is pretty even with Cortez, and Gatto is not easy to control. She can reverse the position, take top position, and land bigger shots. So to me, it's a 50-50 fight, guys. Pick your side. But since the odds has Gatto as a plus 150 dog, to me makes sense to bet Gatto, and also actually think that she can avoid the ground game and do more damage. So I'm picking Gatto by decision and definitely betting her. Blagoy, Ivanov, and Marcos Rogerio de Lima. Also pretty easy to break down. Actually not that much, because de Lima he used to be a guy that either exploded on your face and put you out, or guessed and basically lost the fight. He implemented a takedown game. It was against I just forgot. Was it against Vandera? No, against the 6'7" guy there, Maurice Green. Against Maurice Green, he implemented the grappling game, took the top position and hold there. I don't think he takes Ivanov down, right? So this is probably going to be a stand-up matchup. Rogerio de Lima has more power and he's so dangerous and he closed the gap. I think he has enough power to put out Blagoy, even though Blagoy, nobody was able to put him out yet, not even Derek Lewis. So it's very difficult to put this man out, but it's not impossible. I think de Lima is a guy that could do it. But rather than that, I think Blagoy, more patient, takes his time, can find counters. Not the most exciting fighter, but he knows how to win fights, pretty well-rounded. Has that iron chin and toughness. So we'll see, guys. I think most likely Ivanov has more chances here for the decision, especially, but makes it tricky because I think de Lima has decent chance for the finish. We haven't seen de Lima in a hard-fought fight for a while. That one of Maurice Green was pretty easy for him because he just basically took Green down whenever he wanted. So this doesn't count much to me. I don't think he takes Ivanov down. So we'll see if Rogerio de Lima adapts his style to fight a guy that it's very difficult to put out. De Lima to me has a little bit more potential, but Ivanov is more consistent. So basically pick your side. I'm going Ivanov, rewarding consistent a little bit more. But I think I'm just going to pass on this one. OSP and Mauricio Rua. Another interesting one, OSP, everybody knows the physical ability of this guy, right? Super athletic, but never fully realizing his potential. Always lagging behind in terms of planning, execution, and strategy in the cage, right? He just loses fights that he should win. This could be one or more of those. Mauricio Rua, at this point of his career, he doesn't have that durability any longer, right? It's not difficult to put him out at this point. SP definitely can put Rua out, both by strikes or by submission. That's why he's a strong favorite in the bookies. But to me, it's nearly a close pick him, guys. Actually, not nearly a picking. OSP to me, it's like minus 150, minus 170, Rua plus 150. So to me, makes sense to bet Rua just because I think OSP can disappoint as he always does, right? He can just wait back, not do much on the fight, Rua being more aggressive, and OSP accepting that and just losing a boring decision. Not boring decision. I think Rua gonna push the pace, but OSP could lose a decision even though he would be the better, would have more chances here, but OSP definitely can lose because the way he approaches things. Okay, so to me it's definitely dog or pass. I'll take a small bet on Rua, like I told you guys. Andrei Arlovski and Jake Collier. I think I didn't put that in the spreadsheet. Real quick on this one. I think this is going to be the typical Arlovski fight. Both guys on the outside, they throw harder on the first round. None can put each other out. They're both quite tough in here, not the biggest hitters. So I think they both land clean at some point, but don't put the other out. And from there, going to be basically the typical Arlovski fight. It's a close fight, but at the end, I think Arlovski's going to edge, just going to use that experience to his advantage. Also, he fought as a heavyweight for way longer. Collier, he looks, he used to be a middleweight and light heavyweight, now he's heavyweight. He's pretty, round in there, right? Not like a chubby guy in there, even though he's fighting well. I'm not gonna deny that. He's pretty composed in there, finds his shots, but I don't think gonna be like Collier being faster or more dynamic in that type of thing. I think it's gonna be a very close fight, and I think Arlovski's experience should grant him the W here. Donald Cerrone and Joe Lozon. So just Donald Cerrone and Joe Lozon. This is another interesting one. Cerrone, more dynamic, more consistent throughout the fight. good stand-up, good decent wrestling game and good grappling game. Can say same things about Lauzon, except that Lauzon is like a one-rounded fighter. He still has the pressure. He's very aggressive. Still, he gets into guys' face. He either puts them out or guesses. Right? He can also be finished after he guesses. So to me, basically that Cerrone probably gonna have to fight on the back foot for the first round and survive. And if he does, Lauzon probably gonna guess from the second half of the first round included, and from there Cerrone probably gonna take over. Difficult one to bet. The bookies have exactly what I had, right? So I don't know, man. I think Cerrone wins, but it's not impossible that Lauzon wins, especially in the first round or in the second, right? In the beginning of the second, maybe he has one more burst of energy and has a chance. But Lauzon, if you like him, I would say round one, very likely. And otherwise, I think Cerrone wins, but I'm not betting this one. Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson. This is an interesting one. Everybody going hard on betting hard Chandler. They think Tony is done. I cannot argue much against that, but I still have a small doubt in my head, right? Chandler definitely the physical guy in this one, training hard. You know, you can always count Chandler on in terms of the physical skill. The man comes to fight. Good wrestling ability, massive overhand, right? So Chandler is dangerous at all times. But I mean, if you stop and analyze this one, Tony, super tough, you know, Tony can be knocked out, but it's not easy, right? Tony, he gets dropped, he survives in there, even though I think if Chandler lands that right hand, I don't think Ferguson gonna survive, but still not impossible. And if you stop and see, guys, the guys that Ferguson lost to, which was Oliveira and Dariush, they implemented a takedown game. I don't think Chandler gonna be able to do the way they did, because Chandler, he has the wrestling, but he doesn't have the control, and the Chandler fight more in bursts. So it's either that powerful overhand, or he takes guys down and finish them with the ground and pound, or he after that he waits, he takes his time, and then he gets a second burst. I think if Tony survives the right hand, he has a legit chance here, because Chandler can guess, right? Because he goes so hard with that those explosive moves. I don't know, man. Like I told you guys, I'm not ruling Ferguson totally out of this. I think Chandler is the rightful favorite, given, you know, Ferguson's latest appearances. But I don't know, man. I guess the striker, let's put it, Chandler's not a striker, but against Chandler's style, like a guy that fights more in bursts, to me, it's not impossible that Ferguson survives and wins this fight, right? Rather than that, I think a Chandler knockout is the most likely scenario, but I'm curious to see what Ferguson gonna do here. I'm betting Ferguson, not much, right? It's a risky bet, but I think the bet is on Ferguson here. Rose Namajunas and Carla Esparza. It's an interesting one too. Rose way more dynamic, you know, very technical everywhere, especially with the striking. She's good from her back too, you know, not bad wrestling, not bad clinch game. Esparza, a very strong wrestler, excellent explosive moves, very good control. She also showed good ground and pound and submission skills from the top. Guys, it's not an easy one to predict. At first I was thinking, come on, Rose should dominate that. But Esparza still has the fire. She's not the biggest strawweight, but she still performs. You know, she's a strong wrestler. You know, she doesn't look that big and strong, but she is strong at least. She controls girls and she has that output, that you know, blue collar wrestler type of thing. So I don't know, man. I think the lines are correct. Basically, you know, if you're gonna force me to bet, I have to bet. I would have to bet Rose here, but I'd like to bet Rose at a better price, like -150 or closer to the pick'em line, right? But I don't know. Esparza definitely has a chance here, especially by decision, you know, because she fights smart too. She knows it won't be easy to finish Rose, but she knows that she can take Rose down. So she's probably gonna wait and do it right in the second half of the round, something like this, you know. Rose, obviously, she knows what she has to do too. I think she has more chances, but tricky one, this one. But I'm very interested in this fight. And in the main event, Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. Another interesting one, guys, Oliveira. I mean, the man is super aggressive, right? He takes that chin up, doesn't move the head, but throws hard leg kicks, gets into guys' face, takes them down, and goes for the finish unstoppably, being either on the feet or on the ground. Gaethje, he's there to fight too. The man always take the front foot, keeps smashing leg kicks and throw those powerful hooks and uppercuts. Guys, I think Oliveira should win this one. I'm picking him by finish, right? I think there is a little value on him, but I'm not ruling Gaethje totally out of this just because Oliveira, he gets hit, right? He takes risks, and I'm still not convinced of his chin, even though he took some big shots, right? It surprised me that he's still able to survive. Like, even he survived CHandler and some big shots from other guys. I think Tony also landed clean on him. He kind of took that well, but I'm not too sold on Oliveira's chin, right? I'm really tempted to bet Oliveira, but I decided to pass. I'm gonna just watch this one and enjoy. But I'm picking Oliveira by decision here. So this will do for this video, guys. As I told you guys, I have 2 Patreon tier, $10, which is part of this video. You guys have early access to all of this, right? This is also published as part of the $10 tier. In this, you guys have my written comments consolidate here in one paragraph. You can know what I'm thinking, plus all of the, the summarized here, which odds I have, right? So all of this for $10. And you also have access to me. You can chat with me and ask my opinion on something. And for $50, this is the ultimate package. You guys have access to this spreadsheet. In early market, you know who I'm betting and how I'm betting, plus the props. Once the props are released, I put them here. Every single prop that I'm taking in comparison to this. So let's say in this card, I'm going to also bet Ferguson by decision. Probably going to do that. Or some of these guys that I told you, like Blagoy by decision, or Ivanov and the Lima go the distance. How much would I bet in comparison to this 1 unit that I'm putting on Brown? Maybe I'm gonna do, half units in there, 0.25 units in there, so you guys can know exactly what I'm doing in comparison to this. This comes as the ultimate package, plus you guys show your appreciation to the channel. Alright, so this will do for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. This is Sam from Rogerio Bet, bring the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.